at home. It's easy, nutritious, and surprisingly affordable. Hi, I'm Chef Jim Yocum. We've been fortunate enough to have access to Boston Sword and Tuna fish thanks to our friend Franki, aka Frankie the Fish Guy, and our friends at Boston Sword and Tuna. We've seen an episode before. Today this is a part 2, so we get to go back and visit them again. Hope you enjoy as much as I did.
Well, back at BST, I'm here with Larry Dorr, who is in the ground fish division. He's in charge of selling haddock, cod, and other items, other similar types of fish to area supermarkets and vendors. Larry, tell us about your business.
Yes.
And yourself. Tell us about yourself first.
About myself. I've been in the business. I've been in the business over 30 years, handling primarily ground fish. Also sold swords, scallops, lobsters, everything. But processing of whole fish into fillets is what I concentrate on. We handle North Atlantic species: haddock, cod, pollock. We cut flounder, monktails, hake. Everything we cut is to order. You know, so we're packing, specialty packing for each customer we may have. Whatever their needs may be, whether it's a warehouse application or it's a restaurant, and we pack fish as the way our customers would want it, Frank.
That's amazing. About how many pounds a day do you go through?
This time of year, we'll go through 20,000 pounds a day in this room. Everything's hand cut, as it's been passed on from generation to generation. One thing that I focus on a lot, number one is quality, but number two is how we handle the fish. We don't use any chemicals in any of our wash baths. It's all natural product, and I think that speaks towards the flavor of the fish. We're not adulterating anything. It's all as natural and as pristine as it comes out of the water.
It's amazing, the assembly line. How many fish cutters do you have?
We have 8 fish cutters right now. We have room to put up a couple more, and we have another small bench that we probably have 4. So we could tap out at 14 cutters if we needed to be.
And you notice, Jim, there's no odor of fish here. There hasn't been any odor of fish any place in the building.
Well,
that's how.
It's very important. Fish likes cold, fish likes clean. And if you keep those two things in mind, it really helps with the quality of the product, helps with the shelf life, and that's extremely important. It can't be underestimated.
How recently were these fish swimming?
The haddock that we're cutting now, it's Friday. The boat went out Monday night. They fished Tuesday, Wednesday, unloaded Thursday. They're here this morning. So the oldest fish might be 3 days old, and it'll be in the marketplace today.
And the most recent
It might have been 24 hours, 36. And fish, if it's treated well, if it's kept cold, it's cleaned right away, the shelf life's extended greatly.
So our viewers might be able to buy this fish even tonight.
Oh, it'll be in marketplace. It'll be some places are getting it. We had people already pick up this morning, bring stuff to their fish markets. We're making deliveries to supermarket chains today. Right. Restaurants pick up. They'll be cooking the fish tonight and over the weekend.
Very short term.
Yep.
From the time they're in the water until the time they're on the plate.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything fresher than you are going to get around here and from here.
Hi, Frankie back again at Boston Sword and Tuna. I'm with Chris Marchese, who handles the salmon division of the company. And Chris is kind of a young guy, and he's got a great job, and he is a great guy. So, Chris, first tell us about yourself.
Well, I've been in the business about 3 or 4 years. I did a little bit in the restaurant business. I did a little bit in the food business at a restaurant. I took this job 4 years ago. We were doing like 20,000 of salmon. Everything, we were just swapping boxes, buying from Norway, picking them up at the airport, sending them right out. We then invested in a pinbone machine, which I can tell you in a little while. And we've grown the company from 20,000 pounds to almost 80,000 a week. So it's a lot of fish, and it's grown, and we're looking to keep continuing the business,
I've noticed that now I do purchase your fish, and my customers love your fish, and I notice that it never has that fishy flavor to it. And for salmon, It just has a beautiful natural flavor. Could you tell us about how they handle the salmon?
Yep. The reason why you don't have that fishy smell is the way we do it here. A lot of companies don't do it the way we do. The reason why we separate ourselves from everybody else is because what happens is in Norway, they fillet the fish. And most companies and most farms, they fillet the fish, they hold it for 3 or 4 days to get out of rigor mortis. So then they take the fish back out of the box and they take the bones out. By the time it flies over here, because it's, it's in Europe, it's in another country, that's now almost 6 days off the knife. So what happens is, being 6 days off the knife, by the time the end customer gets it and everybody at home and they cook it at their house, it's almost 10 days old. So the reason why our fish is different than everybody else's is because what they do in Norway, they fillet the fish and they pack it right then and there. They fly it to me. By the time I get it in Boston, it's 2 or 3 days off the knife. It now sat in the rigor mortis. Now it's ready to go through our machine, and by the same day it goes through the machine, it goes into Franki's hands, and that same day, Franki's selling it to you guys. And you know what? That's 4 days off the knife. That's where your freshness is coming from.
And the machine Chris is referring to is a pin boning machine. In other words, it takes the bones out of the fish.
Exactly. With a piece of salmon, when you fillet it, you got about 30 to 40 bones that come down the center of the fillet. And what happens is this machine goes in and it takes out about maybe 35, 38 bones. You're going to always have a couple extra. You got 2 guys that are on the line that do a QC. They take out those extra bones. Then you have a QC down the end. If you want to show them, if you guys want to show them, you can. I can show you. What I'll do is I'll get a fillet of salmon and I can show you what I'm talking about. But we have a QC. The guys take a couple bones out. The extra bones, you have a QC down the end. I can guarantee you the fish you're buying from me is going to be 100% boneless. 99.9% boneless. Because I have 2 quality checks,
And boy, does it taste good.
It does. And the Norwegian product, where we buy it, we buy everything out of Norway. There's, you can buy from Canada, you can buy from Chile, you can buy from Scotland, you can buy from the Faroe Islands. We strictly buy from Norway. Norway is the first country to, establish farm-raised salmon. They were the first ones on the chain, and everybody else jumped on the bandwagon, and, everybody jumped on and was like, hey, let's do what they're doing. So we went to the top, and Norway is at the top, and that's all we buy, that's all we sell, and we feel that we've jumped up. Our sales are through the roof because of the quality of the fish and the product. It's just unbelievable,
Let's take a look at your fish.
Yeah, definitely. So what you have here is what I was explaining to you guys about pin bone in, and you got the bones here, in which you got the bones that come all the way down the fillet. And the reason why you wait the 3 days to get out of rigor mortis is because if you don't, you're going to have a gaping hole down the center here, and it's going to ruin the way the fish looks. You can still eat it, it's going to be fine, but you're going to have a gaping hole down here. So what you do is you wait the 3 days, okay? By the time it's weight and it's sat in rigor mortis, you put it through the machine, and now there's no bones. This is what it looks like. You can't even tell
Looks
when
the
the
same.
bones came out. Looks the same, doesn't it? It looks the same.
Can't even tell the difference.
You can't even tell the difference. And what happens is this day, today, tomorrow it's going to darken and get a little darker in color. It's crazy how it happens, but it does. After it settles, comes out of rigor mortis, it will darken, get a little darker, which is, it's unbelievable. The quality of the fish is awesome.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It is. The other thing is with the trim. We specialize in a trim here. Nobody else does a trim like we do. We do a custom cut. It's called a Boston Sword and Tuna custom cut. No one else can sell it because of, look at the trim. If you buy this fillet, it's a 3-pound piece of, 3-pound fish. If you go to fish markets and supermarkets, you're going to see more of a nape on the side here with some fat. You're not going to eat that, but you're going to pay for it. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's the waste.
That's the waste.
So you're
So if you're
in other words, paying for waste.
Right. So if you buy this for $10 a pound and you cut off a quarter of a pound, you're going to do the math, and really, what are you paying for it? Are you paying now $11 a pound? What is it? $10.50, whatever. You know what I mean?
So it's all usable.
It's all usable. It's 99.9% yield, and it's it's just.
We had some the other night, and use the Tony Bourdain phrase, expand their religious experience.
Yeah,
It was beautiful.
it's awesome.
Can we see a whole salmon?
Sure, definitely.
This is the holy grail of the salmon industry, right here. The whole salmon. Look how beautiful this salmon is, how shiny it is. And I'm gonna see the red gills, and the fish is stiff. And inside the belly, how clean it is and red. That's a sign of how fresh this fish is. And it's actually still, this fish is in rigor mortis. And notice the clear eyes. Now, Chris, is this from the same place in Norway?
From the same place, yep. So what happens is this is a whole salmon, a Norwegian whole salmon, and it comes out of the water the same day the fillet comes out of the water. The fillet comes out of the water. You know, you get up in their pens. The boat goes out, takes some fish in, brings it back to the facility. You get, say you get 10,000 pounds of whole fish that's going out. That goes to the left. The 10,000 pounds of fillet, that goes to the right. The fillet, the fish gets filleted. The whole fish gets put in a box. I'm getting the whole fish the same day I'm getting the fillet. A lot of people think the whole fish is fresher, just as fresh as the fillet. They're actually the same. They come out of the water the same day. So it's, you get these red gills, that's fresh.
Look at the eyes.
The eyes are nice and clear. What happens is when the fish starts to go, the eyes get a little, cloudy, But if this fish wasn't fresh, you'd be able to smell it. You'd be able to really put your finger in it. It would just sink in, you know what I mean? It's...
Having been in the fish business as long as I have, to look at this fish, just by looking at this fish, it looks like it was just caught.
Right.
It has that look about it. That's how fresh this fish is. It is absolutely amazing.
It's, the Norwegian product. I'm going to go back to it. That's all we believe in, and we've had so much luck with it. If I was any of you guys looking for a piece of salmon, I would go, everybody says, the Alaskan, the wild Alaskan salmon. I will tell you this. Most of the time you buy Alaskan fish, it's going to be a previously frozen. I would try and find the Norwegian salmon wherever you are and try and eat it. You will never go back to it. Anything else. This is the only salmon you're going to want to buy. Norwegian salmon.
Tell me something. What do you attribute your success to?
I think, the success of the business and why it's grown so much is, the crew of guys that we have here. The crew of guys that they show up every day. They want to be here. They'll work as many hours as you ask them to do. Saturdays, Sundays, if you need them. Friday nights, they're always here. So it's the whole company. The whole company, everybody wants to be here. They're just a great bunch of guys, and that's, you need the guys in order to be successful. So the quality of the fish helps too, but you really need guys to produce that for you, and it makes my life a hell of a lot easier.
That's great. And you all pull towards a common goal.
Exactly.
Respect for the product, respect for the people.
Yeah,
it all shows up on the plate.
Yeah, no, it's a great company, and it starts from the bottom. So just keep bringing it up, and it's just everything's working out great. So.
All right, Chrissy, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. I really appreciate
guys.
the time.
All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, buddy.
Had a wonderful day down at Boston Sword and Tuna. Hope you enjoyed their visit as much as I did. Thanks again to Franki, aka Frankie the Fish Guy, and our friends at Boston Sword and Tuna. Thank you also for joining us. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you avail yourself of the great seafood. It's available in our area. Bye for now.